Good afternoon, everybody. Taipei and Manilla here. Hope you're going well. I was just thinking about the many times I was in the eastern part of Asia, or the Asia that borders the Pacific Ocean. You know, Southeast Asia, China, I went to Hong Kong, and I was just thinking about the few days I spent within Hong Kong coming up 7 years ago. 7 years that I went to Hong Kong for the first time in my life on the way to Vladivostok to start my big overland journey back to London. Now, I flew into Hong Kong on Tuesday the 8th of November, and I stayed a night at a hostel I'd booked, which was really nice in the heart of Hong Kong. And then the next day, I basically took a ferry over to Macau. Now, Macau is roughly expensive than Hong Kong, and it's quite small. It used to be a Portuguese colony for 400, 500 years, but it's just basically just full of casinos. So I thought to myself, there's no point, I'm going to spend 24 hours in Macau. I took a ferry back to Hong Kong, and then I went to this border crossing, which is up north, and I thought you could be able to get a Chinese visa for Shenzhen. But then immigration told me, oh, you have to use a different border crossing, not this train station. So I had no accommodation booked for tonight, and I just hung outside a freeway in Hong Kong or near a 7-Eleven station for many hours, waiting for this border crossing station to open. It was Thursday, I remember, Thursday the 10th of November. I crossed into Shenzhen, but I only stayed for a couple of hours because I couldn't find my accommodation. I mean, I did have a GPS on me at the time, but literally I just saw Shenzhen as a really disgusting city. And no offense to Chinese people, but people in Shenzhen just spit a lot. You know, I went to Singapore many times in my life, and the law was like, if you spit in public, you get arrested and hit with a cane. I'm like, well, if you want to make a city cleaner, tell people not to spit. So I went back to Hong Kong that day. It was a Thursday. I had 2 days left before my flight to Vladivostok. So I literally just went back to a hostel I stayed on Tuesday, and then all of a sudden, which kind of like really annoys me in hostels, they always tend to make you move rooms every now and then. Like, they give you a room, and then 2 hours later they said, oh, we gave you the wrong room, oh, we have to move you to this room, oh, there's a bunch of group of people. I'm like, lady, you know, I put my name down, I pay the money, and you're supposed to, you know, just give me a bed. I don't like playing, you know, what do you call it, musical beds? Like musical chairs? So I spent the next 48 hours in Hong Kong just walking around, bought a copy of Chairman Mao's little red book, and saw a couple of former, you know, British colony sites, because, you know, Hong Kong was run by the British for 100 years. And then I flew to Vladivostok on a Russian airline, and I haven't been back to that part of Asia in years. The closest I've been to Hong Kong, China would have to be Almaty in Kazakhstan. So it's kind of funny how during the pandemic, Hong Kong, China, Taiwan, that was closed off for many years. I had a lot of friends of mine who live in Hong Kong who, when they could finally get back to Australia, they did, but then when they came back to Hong Kong, it was a 14-day mandatory hotel quarantine, really strict as F. So I'm kind of hoping that in the next few months or so, I do get to go back to China for, you know, a 24-hour period, because you can get visa-free transits in some Chinese cities like Shenzhen, Zhengzhou, Beijing, Shanghai, and then I can go on to Taiwan, which I've never been to in my life, and also the Philippines, because I've never been there as well. Just, fingers crossed I get the time off work, because I started a new job, and I don't want to pester my employer that I want time off. But You know, it's just 1 week. I mean, 1 week for me to get to Taipei. And, you know, create some new memories. Martin Mellhead, over and out.